Here's the next video on the Spacewalker build. We started the wing, and just to give you some update, we cut all these ribs. I cut out here on the plan. It's kind of wrinkled, sorry. I cut out the rib here. I don't like to do this, but it seemed to be the best way on this rib, because that kind of destroys your plan. Just take what you cut out and tape it back to your plan. If you ever want to save your plans, you can use it next time. Or cut out a extra one of these and just tape it. So anyway, this is kind of what the rib shows. It's not fully symmetrical, but you can see it's got some symmetrical on the bottom, but it is a lot more camber on the top. So basically this plane is going to, it's not going to be as stable as your flat, but it's going to give you more aerobatic type feel. So anyway, there you go. And I cut out 23 of them, bless their hearts. It was a lot of them. You want to make sure they are identical. I know it's easier said than done. It's a tough job to cut all those ribs out and make sure they're all the same, but you need to, because if you don't, then you run into problems down the road and you end up sanding your wing to pieces, trying to get everything to line up, and it's just a mess. So anyway, take your time on your ribs. Make sure they are very, very straight. What I like to do is, after I get them all together, line up the front with something straight like a ruler, clamp them, and then lay them down on the board and make sure all these tips are the same length from tip to, from the front leading edge to the trailing edge, making sure they're straight across here. So I'm going to take a sanding block. Anyway, you get the idea. Make sure they're straight. So I took a piece of 1/8 inch square, laid it down on the plan, put all these pins in. I put a couple in on both one, or at least one set per break. Make sure that's not moving. Look down there, make sure it's completely straight. That looks awful goofy when they're not straight. Anyway, make sure it's really straight. My friend Tracy gave me this good idea. Since they're not flat, you can't just lay them down and set them all up, because the trailing edge needs to sit up. So this is where you had to do a little thinking. I don't know if you can see it from the video, but there's another rib right here. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah. So you can see this right here. I just drew a line right down the center. Alright? Then I measured from the tip to tip on what that distance was. And I can't remember what it was because I've already set it up. But anyway, and then I set up. See, this is a couple of sticks together. They're not all one piece, but just enough to where it's the same height. Pin that thing down with some larger pins, and then I rest adjust the tips on the sand. Don't put them too far back, because obviously it's going to lift it up more and your wing's going to be like this. So make sure they're all consistent, where it's just the tip sitting up on that. And then, while I was setting the ribs in, I took something that was straight, like this block, and I just set it there on the front to make sure these are very, very straight. Oh, that one's not set on yet. Well, that would be a good demonstration. Then I just took my rib and just set it on there where the tip is back here and where the front is here, and I made a mark with a pencil. Took it and I filed the notch. Okay? And then I set the notch right down there. And I took 2 of these little squares. The one square I set in here like this, and the other one I turned. I'd like to turn them both, but since the other one's here, it won't allow me to. There's not enough room. So anyway, you get the idea. Make the ribs. Then I glued them, make sure they're always just perfectly straight. After I do that, this wing is something I haven't been looking forward to, just because I'm not really sure how to build it. What I'll probably end up doing is, see, there's an aileron right here. So anyway, I'm going to have to work my way through this. I may do the front edge first and get that front edge on there, and then I will take it off, because I don't want to put a piece back here. I want to put it on the bottom of the aileron. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. if I'm going to put it on the bottom, if I'm going to put it on the top, if I'm going to put it on both, and then just do cap strips. Cap strips may be the best decision to do. We'll just have to see. So other than that, there's the wing, and then what you'll do is you got your other plants here for the other side. Just make sure you don't build 2 left wings or 2 right wings, and go ahead and make both wings. We'll make the entire wing, and then we will cut out the aileron. Don't try to build the aileron in there. At least that's what I've been told. It's a lot easier just to cut it out and then just cap it. So we'll show you how to do that as well. Other than that, I think that's Spacewalker Build number 14. We're getting close, getting this wing done. Or I shouldn't say wing done, the plane done. We're getting this wing completely done, and then we'll be able to assemble the plane. Just give you a little update. I'm not sure what you saw in the last build. Here's the fuselage. Let me see if that shows in the camera. Pretty good. Let me pull it down a little bit. Whoop, I just broke the wing I just built. There you go. So you get the idea as my guy falls out. Here's the tail. So I notched a part, and so that could stick in there. You get the idea. It pulls out. So, and then you put it in here like this, like that. And then I sanded these 2 pieces. Wasn't easy. But I ended up cutting those stringers. You probably noticed that in the video. But I ended up cutting these stringers right off. I think that was probably the easiest. And I think it's going to look the best too. And then I just sanded those little 2 pieces right there. And that gives it the nice flow curvature of the fuse. So I don't know. I think that'll work. And then the main wing will sit. It's on this end actually. So it's coming together. Coming together.